Some ice cream brands are lying to you, not about calories, about what's actually in the carton. While you've been grabbing the same pint for years, these companies have been quietly swapping real ingredients for chemical cocktails. And one brand? They literally killed people, then asked for your loyalty back. Let's expose them all. Bluebell wants you to forget 2015. To forget that their ice cream killed 3 people and hospitalized 10 more with listeria. This wasn't an accident, it was negligence. FDA. Inspectors found contamination as far back as 2013. 2 years of shipping tainted products across America, and Bluebell knew. Internal reports showed they'd been finding listeria for years, but kept selling anyway, gambling with public safety to protect profits. When people started dying, they didn't stop out of guilt. They stopped because the government forced them to. Sure, they rebuilt, spent millions on new equipment, hired food safety consultants, made all the right PR moves, launched a massive advertising campaign about their commitment to quality. But here's the problem with trust. Once it's broken, it stays broken. Since reopening, Bluebell has faced multiple quality complaints. Melted cartons that were refrozen and sold anyway, weird textures that suggest temperature abuse during shipping, off flavors that make you wonder how long that pint sat in a warehouse. Consumer reports describe ice cream that tastes like it's been through multiple freeze-thaw cycles. And the kicker? Bluebell still isn't available everywhere. Limited distribution means limited accountability. When you can't buy their product in most states, it's easier to control the narrative. Easier to manage the PR disaster. Easier to pretend the problem was isolated. But it wasn't isolated. 3 people died eating Bluebell ice cream. 3 families destroyed because a company chose profits over safety. That's not a mistake you come back from. That's a betrayal you remember forever. Breyers has mastered the art of regional hype. They control everything from farm to freezer, which sounds impressive, until you realize it also means their quality control is all over the place. Walk into any Breyers and you're rolling the dice. One store serves creamy, dense ice cream that actually matches the ad. The next gives you frozen whipped air that melts into sugary water. Same brand, same recipe, completely different result. The flavors are aggressively artificial. Their strawberry tastes like someone described strawberries to a computer and said, "Make this out of chemicals." Sweet, cloying, and with that artificial aftertaste that hangs around too long. Their chocolate is worse. Too sweet, yet flavorless. Like cocoa powder mixed with corn syrup and marketing copy. No depth, no richness. Just sugar pretending to be chocolate. The real issue? Breyers convinced an entire region that local means good. Regional pride doesn't make bad ice cream better. It just makes it overpriced. Bad ice cream with a nice story. The farm to freezer slogan sounds wholesome, but it's really just vertical integration without accountability. They own the cows, the plants, and the stores, which means when the product disappoints, there's no one else to blame. And if you're outside their 5-state zone, you're not missing anything. The hype's always been bigger than the ice cream. Halo Top is the greatest marketing scam in frozen dessert history. They convinced millions you can eat an entire pint guilt-free. The problem? It's not ice cream, it's protein powder, water, artificial sweeteners, and enough stabilizers to survive a nuclear winter. The texture's icy because there's barely any fat. The flavors are dull because fake sugar can't carry real flavor. And that weird aftertaste? That's erythritol, the sugar alcohol that makes your mouth feel like a chemistry experiment. Here's the genius and the danger. Halo Top sold disappointment as virtue. They stripped joy from ice cream and called it healthy. They convinced people that enduring bad flavor was a moral victory. But ice cream isn't supposed to be healthy. It's supposed to be indulgent, a reward, a moment of pleasure in a complicated world. If you want low-calorie dessert, eat fruit. If you want ice cream, eat real ice cream. Halo Top tried to be both and ended up being neither. Not nutritious, Not delicious, just mediocre and forgettable. And the kicker? People eat the whole pint because it never satisfies the craving, so they consume more calories than if they just had real ice cream. The healthy choice becomes the worse one. It's a psychological trick dressed as a diet. Don't fall for it. Breyers can't legally call half their products ice cream anymore. The FDA won't let them. They have to label it frozen dairy dessert because there's not enough actual cream to qualify under federal standards. Read that again. A company built on ice cream now sells something that legally isn't. That should tell you everything. The reason? Cost cutting. Over the past 2 decades, Breyers swapped real ingredients for cheap substitutes. Cream became milk protein concentrate. Natural flavors turned artificial. Quality got sacrificed for profit. The result is a product that melts into an oily, separated mess and tastes like someone tried to recreate ice cream from a Wikipedia page. It's not creamy, it's not rich, it's not what it used to be. And the insult? They still market it as premium. They use words like natural and quality while selling a product that doesn't even meet the legal definition of ice cream. That's not marketing, it's deception. The texture gives it away. Real ice cream has weight. Breyers scoops like whipped air. It melts into a slick, oily puddle instead of cream. Even their premium line is loaded with stabilizers, emulsifiers, and artificial ingredients. You're paying more for better packaging, not better ice cream. Breyers used to stand for family, trust, and quality. Now it's a case study in what happens when a company trades integrity for short-term profit. And customers are left with the bill. Gelato fiasco sounds artisanal, small batch, authentic. The kind of brand that makes you feel sophisticated for choosing it over mainstream options. But sophistication doesn't fix fundamental inconsistency problems. One batch is smooth and creamy, exactly what you'd expect from premium gelato. The next batch, same flavor, same price, is grainy and icy, like someone forgot how to make gelato between production runs. Same brand, same packaging, completely different product quality. Real gelato has intense flavor because it contains less air than ice cream and is served at a slightly warmer temperature. But gelato fiasco often tastes muted, restrained, like they're afraid to commit to the flavor profiles they're advertising on the packaging. The inconsistency extends beyond texture to flavor intensity. Their salted caramel sometimes delivers that perfect balance of sweet and salty. Other times, it tastes like vanilla with a hint of artificial caramel flavoring. Their dark chocolate sea salt can be rich and complex or bland and forgettable, depending on which batch you get. And the availability issue makes everything worse. Limited distribution means you might drive to 3 different stores looking for it, pay premium prices when you find it, and still end up with a mediocre product. That's not artisanal craftsmanship. That's just poor business execution with fancy packaging. The clear containers are nice. You can see what you're buying. But seeing the product doesn't guarantee quality when the quality varies so dramatically from batch to batch. Transparency in packaging doesn't make up for inconsistency in production. For a brand charging $6 to $8 per pint and marketing itself as authentic Italian gelato, this level of inconsistency is unacceptable. Either commit to quality control or stop charging premium prices. You can't have it both ways. Nestle Toll House makes great cookies, but ice cream? That's not their lane. And it shows in every disappointing spoonful. This feels like a boardroom decision, not a culinary one. Someone looked at their cookie brand and thought, let's just put cookies in ice cream and print money. No one asked if they could do it well, or if anyone even wanted another mediocre cookie dough ice cream. The base is aggressively unremarkable. Vanilla tastes like artificial extract and milk. Chocolate is somehow both too sweet and flavorless. Nothing memorable, just generic frozen dairy with a famous label slapped on it. Even the cookie dough, their supposed strength, is off. Hard, chewy, and bland, like frozen leftovers chopped into chunks without any thought to texture. And here's the bigger issue. You're supporting Nestlé, a company tied to decades of water rights abuse, labor controversies, and shady sourcing. Buying this ice cream means funding that history. There are brands that actually care about ice cream. Nestlé Toll House isn't one of them. Breyers, or Edie's depending on where you live, is participation trophy ice cream. It exists. Congratulations, that's about all you can say for it. The texture's the real killer. Spongy, odd, like someone stretched real ice cream too thin. And when it melts, it doesn't turn creamy. It turns watery. Separates. Sits in your bowl like a science experiment gone wrong. The flavors? Boring, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, cookies and cream. The same lineup from the 80s, made with the energy of a government cafeteria. Even their premium line tastes like a focus group project that lost its soul halfway through. And the ingredients? Fake vanilla in vanilla. Fake chocolate in chocolate. Even the natural stuff feels engineered. It's all branding, no passion. Ice cream that looks right, price is right, but tastes like a knockoff of the real thing. And here's the kicker. Breyers is owned by Nestlé. Same corporate baggage, worse product. You're paying for the logo, not the ice cream. Buying Breyers means settling. And life's too short to settle for mediocre ice cream when better options cost the same. Seven brands down. 7 companies that either betrayed your trust, sold garbage, or stopped caring about quality. But this isn't just about avoiding bad ice cream. It's about knowing what's actually worth your money. Because some brands still get it right. Real ingredients, real flavor, real consistency. And I'm about to show you exactly which ones. Before we do, hit subscribe. No sponsors, no sugarcoating. Just straight facts about what you're really eating. Now let's talk about the 3 brands worth buying. Ben & Jerry's understands what ice cream is supposed to be. Indulgent, creative, unapologetically rich. And they deliver every time, which is more than most freezer aisle brands can claim. The texture says it all, dense, creamy. When you scoop it, there's resistance because it's made with real cream, not air or filler. And when it melts, it becomes velvety liquid that still tastes like the flavor you started with. That's real ice cream. The flavors are where Ben & Jerry's stands apart. Cherry Garcia, Fish Food, Half-Baked, Chunky Monkey. These aren't just names. They're experiences, real chunks, real chocolate, real fudge, real cookie dough that actually tastes like cookie dough. They take risks, too. They experiment. Some flavors flop, most don't. But even when they miss, you can tell they were trying to make something memorable, not just another vanilla with a twist. Their ingredient quality is consistently high. Real vanilla beans, real fruit, real nuts. When they say chocolate chip cookie dough, you get actual chocolate chips and actual cookie dough, not synthetic imitations. The ethics matter. Fair trade ingredients, non-GMO, cage-free eggs, responsibly sourced chocolate. They're not perfect, but they're way ahead of most competitors in both transparency and values. And they're not afraid to take a stand on climate, social justice, or factory farming, when it would be easier to stay quiet. That's rare in corporate America. Yes, it's pricey, $5 or $6 a pint, but you're paying for real ingredients and real integrity. Compare that to a $3 frozen dairy dessert that barely tastes like ice cream, and the math checks out. Quality costs money. Integrity costs money. Ben & Jerry's is worth every cent. Häagen-Dazs is luxury ice cream that actually delivers on the promise, unlike most brands that sell fancy packaging and mediocre product. Look at their vanilla bean ingredients: cream, skim milk, sugar, egg yolks, vanilla extract. 5 ingredients, no gums, no stabilizers, no artificial junk. Just the basics, executed perfectly. You taste it immediately, rich, creamy, heavy in the best way. It coats your mouth with real flavor, not chemicals. This is ice cream made the right way, not a cost-cutting experiment. The texture, flawless, smooth, dense. No ice crystals, no separation, because they use real ingredients that blend naturally. It melts slowly, evenly, keeping its flavor from first bite to last. The flavors are timeless. Vanilla with real bean specks, chocolate that tastes like premium cocoa, coffee that actually tastes like coffee, and dulce de leche that's rich and balanced. No gimmicks, just mastery. They don't need wild mix-ins or weird combinations because the base itself is exceptional. The ice cream is the star. Their process matters too. Slower churning, tighter temperature control, more care at every step. It costs more, but the result justifies it. Yes, it's pricey, $5 to $7 for a pint. But you don't need much. It's so rich and satisfying that a small bowl feels complete. That's real value. Fewer bites, more satisfaction. If you want ice cream that feels special, Häagen-Dazs is it. Not everyday ice cream, but celebration ice cream, and worth every penny. Talenti is gelato done right. And before you roll your eyes and dismiss gelato as overpriced ice cream with pretentious marketing, let me explain the actual difference and why it matters. Gelato has less fat than ice cream, less air whipped into it, and is served at a slightly warmer temperature. The result? More intense flavor, because the taste buds can actually detect the flavors better. Denser texture, because there's less air taking up space. Smoother mouthfeel, because the lower fat content and warmer serving temperature create a different sensory experience. It's not better than ice cream, it's different. And Talenti leans into that difference instead of trying to split the difference and please everyone. The flavors are aggressive in the best way possible. Belgian chocolate that actually tastes like Belgian chocolate, not American chocolate trying to be fancy. Sea salt caramel, with the perfect balance of sweet and salty that doesn't lean too heavily in either direction. Mediterranean mint that's refreshing without being overwhelming. Alfonso mango sorbetto that tastes like you're eating actual mango, not mango-flavored sugar. These are bold, confident flavors that actually taste like what they're named after. No hedging, no playing it safe, no focus group-tested blandness, designed to offend no one and excite no one. The texture is what makes Talenti special in the frozen dessert category, silky, almost custard-like. No iciness, because they control the freezing process properly. No graininess, because they use quality ingredients that work together. Smooth from first bite to last, with a mouthfeel that's distinctly different from regular ice cream. And because it's denser than most ice cream, a little goes a long way. The richness forces you to slow down and actually taste what you're eating, instead of mindlessly consuming while watching TV. You end up eating less, but enjoying it more. Their sorbettos are phenomenal for anyone who's lactose intolerant or just wants something lighter. Alfonso mango tastes like actual mango. Roman raspberry tastes like actual raspberries picked at peak ripeness. Not imitation, not watered down, not artificially flavored. The real deal, just frozen. And here's a detail that matters more than you might think. Talenti uses clear containers so you can see exactly what you're buying. No hidden surprises, no deceptive packaging that makes the product look better than it is. What you see is what you get. That's confidence in their product. The clear packaging also lets you see the quality of the mix-ins. Real chocolate chunks, not chocolate chips. Real fruit pieces, not artificial fruit flavoring. Real nuts, not artificial nut flavoring. Everything visible, everything real. $5 to $6 per pint puts it in premium territory alongside Ben & Jerry's and Häagen-Dazs. But you're paying for quality. Real ingredients, real flavor. A product that delivers on its promises instead of disappointing you with marketing that's better than the actual product. 7 brands to avoid. 3 worth buying. It's simple. Buy ice cream that's actually ice cream. Real ingredients. Real flavor. Made by people who care more about quality than profit. Your taste buds will notice. So will your wallet. If this saved you from wasting money on garbage, share it. Drop it in your group chat. Post it to your story. Tag that friend still eating Breyers like it's 2005. They need the wake-up call. And hit subscribe. Turn on notifications. because we're not done yet. More food industry lies to expose. More no BS reviews. More truth about what you're really eating. Now go clean out your freezer. Ditch the Breyers. Grab some Ben & Jerry's and taste ice cream the way it's meant to be. Rich, creamy, and unapologetically real. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.